everybody, the 2012 Golf R. It is a very cold day here in Vancouver, British Columbia. It's about -2 degrees Celsius outside. Looks awesome on camera, as you guys can see, and it is the perfect day, quite honestly, for this car. As you know, this is the first generation of the Golf R, the successor to the R32. Also, Haldex all-wheel drive system, but the previous model had the VR6 in it. So naturally aspirated VR6, making about 200 horsepower. This one is a little bit different. Stock, the 2012 Golf R put down 256 horsepower, and this one is slightly modified. As you can hear right away, the exhaust out back sounds mint. 4 cylinders with a turbo can sound really good if you have the right exhaust system on it. And this one is definitely no exception. Nice and quiet when you're just kind of cruising, but when you really get up into the rev range, it opens up, it's great. There's no drone or anything like that. Other than that, modifications wise, it has a stage 2 ECU tune. So basically software updates. As you all probably know, German cars are well known for their ease of use when it comes to computer tuning and stuff to that nature. So this one is putting out approximately 325 horsepower and 323 pound-feet of torque at the crank. Now that is approximate, and car to car can vary a little bit, but from where I'm sitting, feels about that much. So from a dig, it feels very responsive, and all the power is right there. So basically with this first generation Golf R, it's now a 2-liter turbo, so it's a very high-strung engine, not pushing the engine really to its limits, but it is a high-strung engine, and as you all know, turbos are very easy to get power out of relatively cheaply. Now, boost comes on super strong, around 35, and pulls right just past 6,000 RPM. Regardless of it being definitely a heavier car, I mean, this thing weighs about 3,500 pounds, so it does have a lot of weight to carry around. But just putting the ECU tune on this with the turbo back exhaust, downpipe, and everything really just wakes the engine up. So the shifter's definitely improved over older Golfs that I've driven, but wow, it's quicker than I expected it to be. Unlimited amounts of grip. So getting back to the shifter, it's better than the Mark IV I've driven, and it's not as tight as I would like it to be. I enjoy a nice, really firm, notchy shifter. Like in the MR2, short throw. We could definitely use a short throw shifter. But in terms of placement, feel, and feedback, it's pretty much impossible to miss a gear in this car. And in combination with the clutch is a great weight. There could be a little bit more engagement feel, but that's just something that you get used to, I guess, in this kind of car. While we're stuck behind these trucks here, because that's all people seem to be driving around here in Langley, the interior, from what I can tell, top notch. First thing I noticed was the steering wheel. Now, it is a flat bottom steering wheel, which some will kind of, it's a little bit weird, but it's not crazy. It's not like a crazy departure from the actual circular angle. So it is fine in that regard. And I mean, it's full leather. It's got extremely nice grip. It's perfect size. Things I like about the interior. First of all, the seats. They aren't the Euro-spec Recaros that if you want to put them in aftermarket, they cost a fortune. The bolstering is great. Full leather seats. Overall, it's really just a nice place to be. And even this kind of plastic of the actual dashboard It's got like a kind of a nice softer feel about it. It's not that really hard, scratchy surface that you would get in other cars in the segment, and not something that you could see getting annoying or scuffed up, which is really nice. This car is pretty striking to look at. Personally, I think it's one of the best Golf generations. It's tall, but it squats down, and you can tell it wants to take corners just by looking at it, right? The front fascia looks very angry and intimidating, which I find too many cars are doing nowadays. They're kind of going over the top with the angry face, right? But this kind of strikes a nice balance. Now, this is the first Volkswagen we've had on the channel. Now, people who know me personally will know I'm not the biggest Volkswagen fan. Never have been. From my experience, they haven't been very reliable. I've been stranded in Volkswagens before, and their styling really has never really captured me. To be honest, I've never really liked their shifters. They always kind of felt loose and not really direct. To me, I've never really liked their clutches. They feel soft and everything like that. But that is why I wanted to get into what is, in 2012, the best Golf you can buy. Volkswagen, what they've done with the Golf R is basically said, hey look, Subaru, you've got the market now that the Evo's gone, and we need to come in and show you guys what's up. Wow, that grip. And they've done just that. Now, like I said before, it is a Haldex all-wheel drive system, so it is front-wheel bias, 90 in the front, 10 in the back, unless the computer senses there is need to send power to the back, and then it becomes basically a 50-50 split. So, as a awesome compromise, to be completely honest, between a front-wheel drive car and an all-wheel drive car, you can't ask for much more. The owner of this car, Steven, has fitted it with snow tires, so the car is very sticky. For this weather, it is definitely set up properly. Suspension is stock in this car. The risk of making this car bottom out honestly just makes me sick. The ride height is perfect. You don't have to worry about bottoming it out or scraping or anything like that. And it's fairly firm. There's no noticeable body roll in corners, or at least noticeable in the way that is going to impede your ability to take corners at the speeds you want to take corners. Now, for a lot of people, the Volkswagen Golf isn't really anything special, myself included. I don't think I would ever buy a Golf, although this Golf R has definitely made my opinions of Golf a lot stronger. This is definitely the Golf I would have if I was to get one. Oh, that exhaust just gives that feedback that you definitely want in a car like this. A 2-liter turbo has never sounded so good. Oh, it's great. Quiet when you want it to, but just loud and obnoxious when you want it to, up high in the rev range, you know? But this is definitely a fun small car, and I think an alternative to the WRX, if you're gonna daily drive this thing, first off, the interior is nicer. Not by much anymore, not by much, but they still have that edge on Subaru, 100%. This chassis just feels tight. It really wants to take corners, and the great thing is, even with the 90-10 split, when you're not really on it or when you're not using it, you can feel the computer start giving the power to the back wheels when you need it most. Even on exit, there's a slight hint of understeer, but then that rear wheel drive that comes in to give it a 50-50 torque split completely evens it out and negates the fact that it is in fact at heart a front wheel drive car. Now, in terms of pedal feel, there really isn't much. It's electronic throttle, so the good thing is it is programmable. So what Steven's put in with the ECU, you can actually adjust the throttle response and how kind of sensitive it is. So if you're, say, taking it to a track, which the Golf R, I would imagine, would be awesome on the track, but then when you're just on the street and you want to have kind of a lazy daily driver throttle response, then you can have that too. Let's feel one more last pull. Power! Oh, that's fun. That's great. I enjoy this car very much, a lot more than I thought. It's the best thing to get into a car and be genuinely surprised about how good it is. Very happy about that. Alright guys, once again, thank you so much for watching the video. We really appreciate it. Go like, share, comment, subscribe. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Go check out roadsandtravel.net. We've got t-shirts, we've got driving routes, we've got articles, writing, photos, all that good stuff up on there. So make sure to go check that out. And we will see you next video.
Man, you're so lucky you have a camera car driver that's also a horse whisperer.
Yeah. Like